incompetent fool. I will not be humiliated by the likes of you. How dare you?
Her voice echoed through the golden hall as silk ripped in her hands. The elegant woman thought she was putting a waitress in her place. But when her husband stood up from across the room, the truth she never saw coming left her trembling before everyone. The sound of tearing fabric cut through the laughter of the elite like thunder through glass. Conversations froze. Forks stopped. Midair. Under the shimmering chandeliers of the city's most expensive restaurant, a white satin gown gleamed beside a torn black uniform. Evelyn stood tall, fury flashing in her pale blue eyes. Her pearl necklace caught the light as her voice sliced through the silence. "You people never learn respect, do you?" she hissed. In her clenched hands was a piece of cloth she had just torn from the waitress's dress. Maya didn't speak. Her dark eyes held a quiet strength, even as humiliation burned in her chest. The restaurant floor was polished marble, cold beneath her shoes, and her fingers trembled as she tried to steady the tray she had dropped. Maya had worked in that restaurant for only 2 months. Every shift began before dawn and ended after midnight. But she didn't complain. She had a promise to keep, a promise to her younger brother, whose school fees she paid every month to everyone around her. She was just another waitress, but before this life, she had worn a nurse's uniform, not an apron, a year ago. A car accident had changed everything. The hospital she worked for closed down, and the savings she had built vanished in her brother's medical bills. Since then, Maya had chosen silence over sympathy, humility over pride. But that night, her silence was about to reveal a power she didn't even know she had. Evelyn leaned closer, her perfume sharp and cold. "You think a smile can cover your clumsiness? People like you don't belong here," she sneered. Around them, guests watched but said nothing. Waiters froze, managers hesitated. In rooms of luxury, silence often protects cruelty. But at the far end of the room, a man had risen to his feet. His chair scraped the floor softly, but the sound carried like a warning. Daniel, Evelyn's husband, a man of calm eyes and quiet authority. He walked forward with slow, deliberate steps, the tension in the room folding around him like heat. "Evelyn," he said softly, almost too calm. "Do you even know who she is?" Evelyn blinked, caught off guard. "She's a waitress. Daniel, a careless one." Daniel's gaze didn't waver. "No. She's the nurse who saved my life last year." The room gasped. Evelyn's lips parted, her face turning pale. Daniel continued, his voice steady and heavy with quiet disappointment. "When I had that heart attack at the conference, she was the one who stayed by my bed. She held my hand when the doctors gave up. She refused to leave my side until I could breathe again." The silence grew heavier. Some guests lowered their eyes. Evelyn's hands trembled. The torn fabric slipped from her fingers. Maya said nothing, but her calm eyes met Daniel's, gratitude hidden beneath humility. Daniel stepped closer. "And tonight," he said, "you tore the dress of the woman who once held my life in her hands." Evelyn's knees weakened. Her arrogance melted into something fragile. Shame. She tried to speak, but no words came. Maya finally took a slow breath and said softly, "Respect isn't about who we serve. It's about how we see the people who serve us." The line struck the room like a bell. Every face turned toward her. Not in pity, but in respect. Even the chandeliers seemed to glow warmer. Evelyn looked down, tears welling in her eyes as Daniel gently placed his arm around Maya's shoulder. "If you ever leave this place," Daniel said, "my company's doors will always be open to you. You belong where kindness leads, not where pride rules." Maya nodded silently. She picked up the tray, her torn dress swaying with quiet grace, and walked toward the kitchen. Each step echoed with dignity, soft, certain, unbroken. Evelyn stood alone in the golden light, surrounded by the silence she once used to control. For the first time, she understood what true elegance was. It wasn't in pearls or gowns. It was in humility, compassion, and grace. That night, the guests left in silence. their laughter replaced by reflection. No one remembered the meal. Everyone remembered the lesson. Respect isn't about who we serve. It's about how we see the people who serve us. Silence isn't weakness sometimes. It's the loudest form of strength. Some people wear wealth. Others carry worth. And in a single act of quiet dignity, Maya reminded the world that class is not spoken. It's shown. Where are you watching from tonight? Share your thoughts below and remember, kindness never loses its value.